streaming. Oh.
All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is Friday, September 25th, 2020. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. You are locked into the G.A.R Capital YouTube channel. If you haven't already, bottom right-hand corner, there's a little square icon, our logo actually. Just click that, and that'll help you subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications if you can. Like our videos, really do appreciate it as always. I just had a comment just come up. I think, yeah, probably last night. I just saw it today that the volume was a little low. So if you have an issue with the volume and you can't hear me, please let me know right now in the chat. I think it's because my headphones were not connected. These are Bluetooth noise canceling. They're not Bose or anything like that. These are on Amazon. These are like 40 bucks. So I beat them up like I just throw them around, honestly. So if they're really that bad, I may have to not be cheap and buy some Bose headphones. But if you guys can hear me, just let me know. Appreciate that as always. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go ahead and talk about markets here, huh? Dow futures are down 112 points. Nasdaq futures are up actually 0.16%. Nicely enough. S&P futures are down a little bit, 0.27%, 32.29. Russell 2000 futures 1441 down 0.39%. And crude oil is down 0.69%, nearing that 40 handle. Gold futures are down 0.77% after they were up yesterday slightly, 1862 an ounce. Seems like a while back we were over 2,000 an ounce. Silver futures 22.89 down 1.32%. I remember they were up nearly 29 at one point. Euro dollar 116.33 down 35 pips, excuse me. Dollar yen up 105.47, 4 pips. US dollar index is up 0.23%, kind of holding back the markets. And VIX at 29.18. Again, keep an eye on that 30 level. That's the key one. So looking at the charts today, it looks like kind of the same old dance, same old song, different, same dance, same deal. The 50-day moving average still kind of that resistance. To the T, actually, we've been playing that. Yesterday, we caught some spy calls yesterday for this rise on Thursday. And then right at the 50, we closed out at 130. Like I said, 130, you want to keep an eye on for any kind of movement. That's when ETFs stop buying stocks. And then 2:30 is your margin call time. Of course, you have 3 p.m., which is power hour or sour hour, depending on how you're looking at things. But for the most part, looking at it here, the 50-day moving average seems to be that resistance level, and it just keeps falling and falling. Yes, we did break above it Wednesday overnight, but again, we fell right at the open. So it's just been choppy, man. Just been choppy all around. Very difficult to find direction. So, like I said on the recap, you really have to seize opportunities. The market's not letting you get home runs, like I've reiterated. Not like the swings that we used to have. It's just basically touch and go. You get 30%, we're just taking it and moving on, and we're being very, very careful. The swing trading of holding trades 3 to 4 days, not in this market. It's not allowing it with these kind of reversals. I'll give you an example, at least one. We had IWM puts. We're down 50%, and we actually closed them. They actually hit 40% literally the next day. I think it was 2 days after that. So if we would have held, we would have got it. But again, the trend changed. So we want to be very, very careful with trend changes because we don't want to be holding premium just because. Markets before, when we had momentum and a little less choppiness, obviously it was a little easier to trade that way. But now we just have to be adapted. We have to adapt to these kind of movements. And a sign of a really good trader, guys, is to adapt to anything, adapt to your environment. And that's something I've been really reiterating to our one-on-one students, the masterclass students. It's to just get base hits. I kind of equate it to Moneyball. If you ever seen that movie with Brad Pitt, he just says, "Hey, just get on base, no matter if it's a walk or a single. He just gets on base." That's kind of the thing I've been reiterating to our members and our students is just get on base. Get those wins, get that confidence up. Morale was pretty low. Really rough couple of weeks. September was very rough, and then we start on Monday with our Moneyball ways of just getting on base, kind of getting that momentum up, kind of get that confidence back. And I've definitely been seeing it. I've definitely seen a change in our members of where way they're thinking. They're not adding more risk when they don't need to. They're taking their profits and they're sitting on their hands. They're being very patient, like snipers, which I really, really like. I love the fact that I'm seeing the masterclass students change their mentality, change their thinking that it's not the same ball game until the election. It's not with summer of 2020. It's not 2019. It's not 2018. It's not 2017. where things were a little different. Now it's very chop. Take the opportunities. You get reversals almost on an intraday basis, so you just have to be very fluid and be cautious of what's out there. Home runs are just not going to happen unless you get something really, really big, some kind of news or something. But I haven't seen much. Something that stood out to me yesterday, I saw it on CNBC, was that there was about I think 10,000 volume on the 400 calls for Tesla. The average price is around $5.50. If you caught those yesterday, you're probably going to be pretty nice unless you get a sell-off because now Tesla is right at the 50-day. So the 50 days pretty much the resistance across the board, except for the Nasdaq futures because it's tapping the 100-day. And then yes, Wednesday we tapped the 200-day. So again, the moving averages are kind of giving us a little bit of an idea of where the market's going, but short term, again, I know I've been getting the stay bullish stuff. Again, guys, when I say stay bullish, I mean long term, obviously. If you're only seeing 24 hours in front of you, that's nothing I can do for you. But looking at here, the 200-day, your 50-day, your 100-day, again, they're getting lower. So you're getting lower highs and lower lows. So for the time being, just be very careful. Watch the markets. Again, it doesn't mean bear market. Doesn't mean, well, technically we are in a recession, but bear market, no. But again, you're getting a correction from the highs. That's where we are. The S&P is still green year to date, guys. Not exactly, a recession or a bear market, so to speak. But looking at Apple as well, look at Apple. I think Morgan Stanley put out a note that it would have been a good opportunity to buy some shares ahead of the October phone releases, that it's undervalued. I'd have to agree with that. But again, I only buy on down days. I like to buy stocks when they're cheaper, not when they're going up. Um, Looking at the Nasdaq again, it is being propped up by strength in Apple from yesterday, but it boosted up on Thursday and then it just chopped. So not clear momentum, unfortunately. So that's what we're looking at. Again, you just have to be careful. It is a Friday. It is the last Friday of September. Thankfully, September will be done because it's been a very difficult one. But I definitely want to end the week strong. I want to end the month strong and take that momentum into October. And I think October is going to be a way better month for us, even with volatility, meaning just watching the market. September was a really, really strange, choppy one. So that's where I'm at. And there's also some news I can go over with you guys. Let's see here. Durable goods orders 0.04%, 0.4% against a 1.5% expectation. Yeah, Morgan Stanley data point stock sell-off proves compelling entry point ahead of iPhone launch. And other than that, the really big news here is that stocks, Europe 600 banks, index hits an all-time intraday low. So banks are still very weak. There was also some upgrades. Carnival Cruise, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian were upgraded from equal weight to overweight at Barclays. So if you want to go and take a look at that, I don't advise buying these stocks, obviously. But again, you're seeing a little bit of a pop here on those news. CCL is up. NCLH, let me go and bring that as a Norwegian. They're popping there, almost at the 15 levels for both. And RCL is at 62. And you can see from an open about a $2 move to the upside, which is looking pretty good if you are a cruise stock owner. So with that being said, let's go and answer some questions. Pretty much a muted day in the market after some crazy stuff. All good. I can hear clearly. Hear you just fine. How's the week going? Pretty solid. I mean, better than the last 2 weeks. I'll give you that much for sure. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. That SPY hit yesterday. Yeah, you like that, huh? Definitely. Good stuff. Good stuff. It actually hit 87%. I took it for 40, so I'm happy with that. The space hits, but SPY was a very nice trade. I remember some of you guys, Patron Boy. I think you're in premium, or maybe you're in student, that some people were saying when we were down, that should we just cut it? And I stuck with it. We stuck with it, and we were patient, and it paid off. So well done. Bipul says, hey bro, you literally called my Tesla 405 calls yesterday. I waited 10 yesterday, and literally, Grain, you think it'll cross 400 or sell at the open? I think it does get to 400. I don't think right at the open. I think by 10 you should get a little bit of a pop, but then it should right around 404. I think it rejects, which is that fib line. Should reject at that level, honestly. I don't think 420 right away. No. Looking at Costco, and I actually bought the dip on Tesla. I bought it at 395. I added to my position. Looking at Costco, it's yeah. Listen, I think if you are a person that's a long-term investor, I think Costco here is very compelling, especially after a blockbuster quarter. A really, really good quarter. Again, it was just sold. That was all. If there's an opportunity to buy this stock, Costco, I used to own it. I'm a little more into growth than just, retail. Retail's not going to give me the growth I want. But again, I think Costco is a buy here. I think if you want to go ahead and buy in, here's a time to buy it, especially after a tough quarter, a good quarter. I think it rises today anyways. It should bounce. I would say 350, no problem. It should get to around 350 today. If not 345, which is your 200-day. Costco is an absolute dream. I wish I had a Costco near where I live. We don't have that. We have BJ's and Sam's Club. So I'm in Rockledge, Florida. So please, Costco, come to Rockledge. That'd be great. Any other questions this morning? I think everyone's kind of chilling today. Thanks, man. Zoom heading to the fourth quarter. Look, Zoom is just very expensive and relative to earnings and all that stuff. Valuation is very high. If you like this name, Zoom, own it. I don't own it, obviously. I think you could still get the same deal with Microsoft Teams. I'm a big Microsoft holder. I don't hate Zoom. You're just paying a lot for it. What I do like is that if you're the type of person that thinks COVID is not going to go away anytime soon, Zoom is still the way to go for video telemarketing, teleconferencing. Buy it. I think Zoom is fine. It's just really expensive. If you want to wait for around 400, I'm okay with that too. I haven't learned at 380, 340. I think at that level, I'd probably buy some shares. But if you like it, go for it. If you are a big believer in Zoom, I think instead of Zoom in regards to valuation, I think DocuSign's a better play for more of a growth COVID long-term look. I think Docu would be better than Zoom. Nothing against Zoom. I think Zoom is fine, but Docu would probably be the better value for me. Thoughts on gold? I love gold long term. I think you buy it in any kind of dips. I have GOLD, which is Barrick Gold. This is Barrick Gold. Now there's it merged with Rand Gold, but I own them long term, and I'm still green on it. Obviously, it is at kind of support here. I have not added to it. I should be adding to it. Actually, no, I have a alert at 23.56. Sorry. So I'm waiting for that level. All it did here was fill this gap on the daily. It should just bounce here. But again, with the dollar strengthening, it's going to hurt the miners. It's going to hurt gold in general. But I do love it long term. Good morning, Carlos. What are some key levels on SPY, both to the downside, the upside? Thank you. There was one little quip or one little point. This guy named Pomp, who's a big Bitcoin guy, Joe I'm gonna ruin his name, Pompolano, whatever. He was on Barstool podcast with El Presidente, Dave Portnoy, and he made a really good point that really stood out to me. He said since the United States got off the gold standard, this was in 1971. If you look at the stock market from 1971 to now, obviously the stock market's been up triple digits. We know this. But if you value the stock market in gold, the S&P 500 is actually down. So basically, because of the dollar being weakened, that's where the gains in the stock market has. So there you go. I thought that was an excellent point. If that doesn't compel you to look at gold or Bitcoin as well to be a part of your portfolio, man, I don't know what is. I still love stocks long term. Don't get me wrong. But again, gold and Bitcoin, I own both. That's big to me. Let's look at SPY. Aurelio was asking. Aurelio was asking about SPY. Key levels, breakdown below 321 and breakout would be around this fib level of 329.65. I would like it to see if it breaks above 326 today. I don't think we get it. I think we kind of chop around today. 325, 323, 322, but nothing meaningful today. I really don't see any volume today coming in my opinion. I would think more likely we're just going to sit on our hands. It's a chill day, just everyone wants to do the weekend. Yeah, I kind of gotten that feeling, BAS or BAS, that it's just kind of like it's been a roller coaster. So I think that's what we're gonna get. Roku yesterday under yesterday low day continued to fill that gap fill. Yeah, I mean you go up 20% in 2 days, you're gonna get some little bit of movement. I think it'll probably bounce today. Again, you see that it kind of I had a level of 176.14 and then it bounced right there. That 100-day moving average seems to be that support. It was a support here before the ignition liftoff, and then now we're at here. So I own Roku long term anyway, so it's nice to see. There was an ascending triangle. It broke. That's a bearish move. But again, same week on Roku is very difficult to trade. So we did it twice this week with students. So keep an eye on that. I still like Roku long term. I think we'll break 200 again in the next coming weeks. Maybe one more earnings report. We'll get there. Would Zoom reject 475 for a put? Let's see. Zoom is extremely expensive, guys. Just understand that. If I'm not going to single something like that, it's just too expensive. If it rejects 486.94 again, which is your 50-day, then it should retest 450, if not 440. That's kind of your support level there. But again, that's all speculation here. Uh, Zoom is a momentum name. It moves big like five, it goes down five. It's up five, it goes down five. And Zoom is a very tough one to forecast, but I would not play options on this one, especially not today. Why am I bullish on gold? I'm bullish on gold is that because of the Fed printing more money, obviously rates are still low. Gold still holds its value. As long as the dollar doesn't strengthen, we could get a strengthen in the dollar, obviously. But again, any kind of stimulus pass, let's say the Democrats win the White House or and win the Senate, supermajority, blue wave, whatever you want to call it, they're going to spend like it's no tomorrow, and gold is definitely going to soar. So I still have it as a slice of my portfolio. I own physical gold. Maybe one day I'll do a YouTube video kind of showing my pieces. If you guys are interested, I'll put that. If you're interested in that, I'll kind of show you some of my stuff so you guys can see. And I'll kind of give you the breakdown on what I have. Let me know in the comment section if that's what you would like to see, and I'll kind of explain more, a little more on gold. Thoughts on Microsoft short term? Microsoft was interesting. I was talking to my guys on it. Paul, I think you were there too. The 210 level was interesting, but again, you're still kind of at that 200-day support. I mean, for resistance. Break above 206, we can have that conversation, the 210s for next week. I really like those calls if we break above that. Any thought on UAA call for January? One of our students, Joe, is a big UAA fan, and he's done very well on it. UAA, the stock itself, I'm not a fan of it. I think there's better retail plays. Nike had an excellent quarter. I own that. It's one of our top 10 stocks of 2020. New all-time highs. I love Lulu. If you've been following us with Lululemon, I've been saying get Lulu, and that thing is up like 90%, 80% on my shares. It's doing great. So again, I'm not a fan of UAA here. It's still below the 100 and the 200. Break above 12, then we can have that conversation. You could start taking a look at that. Let's see. Missed the bounce on Tesla yesterday to recommend to go in still or the 326 level. I bought it at 395. I nibbled it a little bit on Tesla 395. At 326, I'll be buying a lot more. Definitely. Buy levels for Nvidia. Let's see. Nvidia. Nvidia, I think a buy level for me, and I think I wrote it, I had it here. I have an alert. I think Nvidia is great. I think Kramer had a big piece on it. He was talking about Nvidia as a buy here. 470.13. If that breaks, I'm buying more. Definitely be buying. And again, I own Nvidia in my SpyG ETF. FYI, today is SpyG Friday. I actually buy SpyG every single Friday on my brokerage account, every single week. Automatic investing to teach my investment club guys exactly how I do it. So again, I don't recommend something that I myself wouldn't put my money in. But yeah, Nvidia, I think 470.13, you buy it. If you want to initiate a position, anything below 500 seems to be a decent place to start. Where do you see BA going short term? Well, they just won a Pentagon contract. That's pretty much the only thing kind of keeping them up because commercial aviation has been a mess for them. Looking at it here, you're still testing support of 144.95. Until this trend breaks and you start getting above 160, you stay kind of short-term bearish here on Boeing. And a lot of stocks, same thing. Just starting a month ago while listening to you, it has been golden. What other channels other than IG can I lit info for you? Wesley says. Well, we have the podcast on Anchor and on Apple Podcasts. Just search GAR Capital. Our YouTube channel has a bunch of stuff. Um, you can check out our website. We have a free ebook. Feel free to check that out. But IG is pretty much where we put a lot of stuff. Also, our Twitter account. I think we're almost at what 6,000 followers. Thank you so much again. Twitter is GAR Capital, all one word. Novak's looking strong for today. Bought some calls, a good idea for next week. That's it on specific strike. So I don't like chasing those kind of. I think how do I? It's Novak's. Let me see if I can find it. I think I forget the actual ticker name symbol. Let's see Novak's. I think it's NOVX. Novak's. Which was this? Thank you. Love you too. What's Novak's? Let me see if I can find the ticker. Hold on. Novak's ticker. Novak shows how much I actually traded. See if I can find it. Novaks. I'm here on my Firefox tab. NVAX. There you go. NVAX. Novaks. Okay, we got it. Looking at Novaks here, I don't play any of the vaccines names, whether it's Moderna, whether it's Gilead. It's always some kind of news. It's a pop and drop every time, and I prefer not to do it. So what I've been doing is as I buy the IBB, which is the okay, I think I'm good now. Sorry about that, about Novaks. That I've seen this before in regards to, oh, let's see. Okay, I think we're back. My apologies, guys. My internet went down for a second. When it comes to Novavax, I've seen this many times with vaccine names, Moderna, Gilead, where you get this pop and this drop. Again, nothing concrete. It's just stage trials. For the most part, I like to stay away from them because it just lures you in, you get crushed, and then you get pissed off. So no, I would not advise getting to Novavax. If you really want to play some vaccine names, just go ahead and buy the IBB, which is the biotech ETF. That's probably your best bet because then you'll have the basket of all these pharmaceutical names that are working on the vaccine, and then you look forward to one of them hits. At least that's fine, but at least you're not picking just one. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So that's just my that's just my 2 cents on that. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. It's 9:20 in the morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. I hope I answered some of your questions. I hope you learned a little bit. And we'll catch you on Monday for next week's morning note. And thank you very much for your time. Make sure to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we really appreciate it. As always, any kind of suggestions. If you're interested in that gold thing I was talking about, well, I'll show you some of my pieces. I'll show you where I got them from, the prices and current everything, and the growth. Feel free to comment on this video. Just put hashtag gold and I'll set it up for you guys. So we'll leave it there. So make sure hashtag gold in the comment section. I'll get that video up to you. So I just want to see if there's any demand for it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk soon.